but we're global citizens. We dabble in global affairs. K-pop, Formula One, we do it all.
That's it.
That's it. Korea and Europe. There's nothing else out there.
All right, babes. Titanic. Let's set sail.
My first song ever on the recorder.
Oh, was it?
This is BRB Crying. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BRB Crying. I'm Arns.
And I'm Nins. And welcome to my little show here.
Hey.
Where the two of us spill the tea on our spilled tears.
I'd like to say, right before this, we recorded an entire intro, and Nins realized that we actually were not recording. So what you're hearing is our warmed up take.
You know what, though? I will say I'm actually really impressed that it took us 41 episodes to make that error.
Yeah.
And we caught it early. We're smooth sailing.
All I'm hearing is that we're lucky bitches.
Yeah, we just took a second to regroup and we're back. We're fucking better than ever.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
In the unrecorded conversation that we were having, I was telling Arns that this last few weeks, I've just felt so like stretched thin and just really exhausted by all of the things that I had to do and like wasn't able to prioritize my well-being by doing things that ground me and like center me. And then I'm just here today, kind of exhaling, getting on the feels a little bit with my bestie, just laying it all fucking out there.
Lay it out.
You know, here I am. That was me exhaling. If you're not watching our YouTube, which you should, because we're really beautiful and charming.
Yeah, we worked really hard on this set too. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. Love you. If you haven't gotten a chance to listen to our last episode, I want to just quickly plug that again. We did a really cool collab with our friends over at A Novel Affair bookstore in Los Altos, and Nins and I each covered a book that made us cry that the owners told us about. And great fucking episode. So just a quick little plug. And while I'm at it, let me also plug, if you don't follow us yet on socials, we are at brbcrying.podcast everywhere. Send us a DM. You know what? People love to send us shit that makes them cry.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
It's so fun.
And sometimes it's like the same video.
Like 3 times. I love it. I love that we're all just on the same wavelength.
Yeah. We all have the same algorithms. It's like we should all form a community. You know?
Of crybabies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I haven't been able to say that jingle in a while.
The fake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Send us your sob stories, everyone. We would love to hear from our crybabies. If there's anything that has made you cry, that you feel safe and vulnerable enough with us to share, I'll fucking eat that shit up, dude.
Hell yeah.
You know?
We read everything. We answer everything. We love to hear from you.
I would like to hear from you. How are you doing?
Oh, yes. Great.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time with family yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I went to a baptism yesterday, my cousin's baby.
Nice.
And I got to just like hang out with my family.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Bomb ass. They catered kalesa.
Oh, God.
Fucking big ass lechon. Oh my God, the crispiest skin. I was like, holy fuck. And they had the people there.
Yeah.
Who were like cutting it for us, serving us.
Oh, shit.
Top
I will
notch.
fuck up kalesa, dude. That's a Filipino restaurant here in the Bay Area for those that are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
What's kalesa?
Yeah.
But yeah, I ran into an old friend who I hadn't seen in, I saw her maybe a couple years ago, but we've known each other for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those moments where I'm so grateful when I have those relationships in my life where I'll run into someone and we just pick up right where we left off.
I love that.
She literally, I saw her and I ran up to her and she picked me up in her arms and like swung me around. It was so funny. But yeah, that was like, what a beautiful little like
that's
gem.
So cute.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you hadn't seen me for a long ass time?
I would not pick you up and swing you around.
No.
That's for sure.
Okay, rude.
We just don't have that kind of relationship. You know what I mean?
We don't. Because our relationship is we see each other at least 8 times a month.
I haven't seen you in 2 weeks and I was like, that's way too long. Something's not right. Yeah.
But some people, it's like 3 years and pick up right where we left off.
Same though, you and I. We also just pick up right where we left off.
Yeah, from a week ago.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
that's what we got today.
That's what we got. Thank you in advance for tuning the fuck in.
Yeah. Is yours long today?
Not really. I feel like I tend to kind of talk fast.
Okay.
This is one of those where I'm kind of like just talking a lot.
All right. Girl.
You know what? Let's just do it. I'm going to stop explaining how I'm going to talk and I'm just going to talk. How about that? So, are you ready?
I think so. Lay it on me.
All right, this one's light. So,
okay. Yeah. We've said that before.
We have. Last fall, on our first episode back after we fucked off for 6 months, you asked me what I had been up to. If you can recall, I was like, I don't know what I've been up to for 6 months, but I can tell you what I did this past weekend. You remember this conversation? And that was, I watched the F1 movie.
It's today the day.
I mentioned very casually that I had started binging Formula One, Drive to Survive on Netflix. And now, 6 months later, I can say with absolute certainty that this is not just a phase. It is a full-blown obsession that has taken over my life. And I have cried. So today, we're going to be talking about the 2025 Formula One World Champion, Lando Norris.
I'm his biggest fan.
Yeah, you say that every week for whoever I'm talking about.
Who's the other one? Max Verstappen?
Yes.
Max no stoppin', you know?
Wow. You're really good at that. Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Okay.
I knew the moment that I walked in today and I saw you wear that shirt. I was like, this is the day.
Oh, okay. If you're not, if you are not watching us on YouTube or Spotify, I am wearing my All Saints Williams shirt. Williams is one of the Formula One teams. And it's very cute and very blue. Wow. She has a keen eye, everyone. She knows. She knows. All right. So my sources for today include, I actually have sources today for the first time in like 4 episodes. Lando Norris's McLaren Formula One driver profile, an interview on BBC Sport titled Lando Norris from Go-Kart Dreams to World Champion, a quote unquote Lando log on Lando Norris's YouTube channel titled all caps, the best 24 hours of my life.
Oh.
And a video on the Formula One YouTube channel titled Lando Norris's crowning moment, 2025 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Okay, so I'm going to assume that if you're tuning in, you might not be obsessed with Formula One the way I am.
The way I am.
The way we are. The way we both are. So I'm going to explain the sport a little bit. And then I'm going to talk about Lando himself and the whole 2025 championship. So strap in. All right. So Formula One is the world's most prestigious motor racing competition. It's super international, very European, but we're global citizens. You know, we dabble in global affairs. K-pop, Formula One, we do it all.
That's it.
That's it. K-pop, Korea, and Europe. There's nothing else out there. I'm being sarcastic, please. God. Like,
and Filipino brunch.
And Filipino brunch. You're right. Asia and Europe. Nothing else. God. Okay. It is the pinnacle of luxury. Each car takes tens of millions of dollars to build. So when someone crashes, you know someone's upset that they just, you know. And the races themselves are these really grand affairs that take place all over the world. There's Monaco and Dubai, Singapore. And every week, it's a different country. It's often referred to as the traveling circus. So there are a total of 10 teams, but as of 2026, there are actually 11 because there's a new team, Cadillac. The first American team.
Yay.
Yeah. Calm down. You're so excited. So each of the 11 teams have 2 drivers, fastest drivers on the planet. A lot of the teams are really obscure auto brands you probably have never heard of. Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren. Then you have other teams like Red Bull, your favorite, Max.
Max, no stopping.
Yes. And one of my personal favorites, Williams. All Saints Williams. Sponsor us. I tell everyone I can that BRB Crying is going to one day be one of the Williams sponsors. So, James Fowles, team principal, if you're listening, you know how to reach me. So throughout the season, you have 24 races or Grand Prix, and the drivers accumulate points during each race. And whoever gets first place gets more points, second place. The top 10 drivers out of the 20, or 22, I guess, are the ones who get points. And then within Formula One, you also have 2 championships. You have the Drivers' Championship, which goes to the driver with the most points accumulated over the entire 24 races. And then you have the Constructors' Championship, which goes to the team with the most points across their 2 drivers. So this is important.
No, I'm following.
Okay.
I'm locked in.
This is important because whoever wins the Constructors' Championship, which is the team one, gets way more money. So your ranking decides how much you get. And the more money you have, the more you can develop your cars, the better salaries you can offer to attract better drivers. So again, very elite sport. And you have to start really early. Most of these kids start when they're 6 go-karting.
Oh shit, I missed my window.
Just slightly. But it's never too, never say never.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And you actually only win money and get a salary if you're in Formula One. So there are other leagues. There's F4, F3, F2, and that's kind of how you make your way through to get to F1. But you have to pay to race. So if you don't have a lot of money, you have to fucking find your sponsors. So literally just to play, just to participate in this sport, takes millions of dollars. Another unrelated but fun tidbit, everyone's really hot. Especially the WAGs, the wives and girlfriends.
Oh my God, the WAGs.
The WAGs, it's kind of crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah. Alexandra Samelou, Charles Leclerc's fiance. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the vibe. Fastest drivers in the world, most expensive sport in the world, hottest people in the world. All of this is why Netflix's Drive to Survive is so fun to watch, because on top of getting a taste of that luxury and that glamour, you also get to really know the teams and the team principals and the drivers, and then even their families and their girlfriends and their wives and everyone. And the actual races themselves start to kind of feel secondary to the narratives that are being built upon the course of the season. And you start to see that despite these drivers being the best in the world, they deal with so many conflicting emotions and they struggle with worthiness just like the rest of us. So that brings us to Lando Norris. Like many other drivers, he started really young. He climbed the ranks of the junior series at 14. He made history as the youngest karting world championship winner. When he was 16, he signed on with McLaren as their simulator driver. Went to Formula 3, won. Went to Formula 2, was I think in the top 3. And then he got promoted to McLaren's reserve driver. So that basically means you're the substitute. Something happens to one of the 2 drivers, you're in, you're up. So in 2019, Lando Norris debuts as a rookie in Formula 1 alongside his teammate, Carlos Sainz. Carlos, if you're listening, I'm a little in love with you. Okay. Williams. And then, of course, Lando's incredible. Every year, he's getting better and better. In 2023, when Daniel Ricciardo, also, hey, Daniel, I also am in love with you. When Daniel Ricciardo leaves McLaren, Lando gets promoted to the number 1 driver because he was number 2. And this is my fucking favorite Cinderella story. It was McLaren was having an absolute ass year. Everyone was God, what's happening? They were kind of getting antsy, what the fuck? And the CEO, Zach Brown, was so weirdly calm, cool, and collected. He was yeah, just see what happens. And you're this man has something up his sleeve. lo and behold, they make some really fucking massive upgrade to their cars like mid-season, and then they start winning all the fucking races. So they go from like 9th place, like which is like from 9 out of 10 to like 4th at the end of that season. So it's fucking incredible. And then the following year in 2024, with Lando's help, McLaren wins the Constructors' Championship for the first time in 26 years. Really big fucking deal. And as you know, lots more money. And so that brings us to 2025. McLaren dominating, obviously. Lando and his teammate Oscar are leading every race. It's always like one gets first, the other gets second. But it's really close. And then you throw in Max Verstappen.
Shout out.
At the beginning of the season, it doesn't seem like he has a chance, but that motherfucker, it's like he's like not even close to being a contender for the driver championship. But he's so good.
He just popped a Red Bull and was like, I'm locked in.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, whatever, like very casual about it. Very quickly, it's like the three of them. And so by the last few races, everyone's on the fucking edge of their seats because you have no idea. Like, I think there was one year where Max, during the Vegas Grand Prix, like he had already clinched it. It was like there were so many races left, he was already the champion. It didn't matter. But this one, it was like all the way to the last race. You have 3 people who it could go to, and everyone's fucking doing the math. Like, oh, if this person gets this, and this person like gets this place, like then this person will win. And so basically we know that going into the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Lando just needs to get 3rd in order to win the whole fucking thing.
As a driver's
championship.
Okay.
Yes. McLaren had already won the constructors.
Oh, got it.
Because it was like, it was no question they were going to win.
I see. Okay.
So for that entire hour and a half that last race went on, everyone's like shitting their pants. I mean, like, I can't speak for everyone, but like I was like shitting my pants. Like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? So after a few like dicey run-ins, our boy Lando does in fact manage to finish exactly 3rd.
Oh shit.
And secure the Drivers' Championship. So I want to pause here and show you
who got first
in that race.
Yeah.
Max.
Just kidding. I have no horse in the race. I'm proud of them all.
Yeah. I want to pause here and show you his vlog where he talks about
he vlogs?
Yeah.
Wait, also, can you just set the scene? How old is Lando
now?
What is his horoscope? Yeah.
Scorpio. Born November 9th. Oh, I did a deep dive.
Okay.
A lot of the drivers are Scorpios.
Really?
Yes. There's a couple of earth signs.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton, same birthday as you. January 7th.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting. Because Scorpios are so like driven, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, really interesting. Yeah. He was born November 99. Okay. So at this point, he was
27?
27?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know.
No, he's turning 27 this year. Right?
99.
Yeah.
That means he turned 26. So he was...
Hold on, we're doing
math. He was 26 when he won. Because it was December.
Yes.
So he had just turned 26.
Yeah. If we're wrong, I don't want to hear it. Just let me live.
Tell me. So this is a vlog. He does vlog.
Cute.
Yeah, very cute.
Vlog or blog?
Vlog on YouTube.
God. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God, Lando, follow for follow.
Okay, so this is a video on Lando's YouTube channel titled "The Best 24 Hours of My Life," and we're gonna watch up until the 5-minute and 10-second mark. Every time I watch that, I cry.
Every like Olympics, every championship.
Yes.
I need to be so hydrated, dude. Like,
yes.
you know?
Yeah, I know. So in this video, Lando is recalling what was going on through his mind during those last few laps. He says, "It felt like a normal race, but 2 laps to go, time starts to slow down. I started thinking about my first day in the go-kart, and slowly around the lap, I pictured the years that followed. Stepping up into proper racing, going on to racing in Europe, Formula 4, F3, F2. All these things going through my head, and I'm picturing all of them, trying to remember all of them. And that's how my last 2 laps went. Then all of a sudden, I picture my mom in the garage. I picture my parents, my sisters, my brother. Then that next step of emotions starts to kick in, and realization that the last 18 years all led to this one moment. Then you hear his engineer on the radio. 'That's it, mate. You are world champion.' You hear, that was the guy who screamed, "You did it!" That was the CEO, Zach Brown. They call him kind of like the rich uncle of McLaren. Like, and Lando is, you can hear him sniffling. He's like, "Oh my God, you made a kid's dream come true." The camera pans, you see every single McLaren team member in their bright orange, like really obnoxious orange. Like they're all flooding the streets. They're screaming, cheering, hugging each other, crying. We see Lando holding up the trophy, and we catch a glimpse of Lando's mom. And she says through tears, "All those years. So, yeah, I'm just happy." When you've been dreaming of something your whole life, like most of these drivers have, I can only imagine how sweet that satisfaction is. And what made it so much more rewarding as a fan was that Lando is not the kind of person who comes off as someone with unshakable confidence. Like, you know how Max Verstappen is kind of like so nonchalant, but with Lando, it's like, of course he wants to win, but you can tell there's a part of him that's up until the last race, like he's not sure he can pull off the championship. And for me, that's part of his charm. He's one of the best drivers in the world, but he still gets nervous, anxious, worried. And when he's finally laps away from being crowned the champion, his mind isn't just picturing like the glory of winning. He's thinking about his first time in the go-kart, every step that got him there, everything his family is feeling. Lando is phenomenal, but he's also deeply human. And what I love is that he's inspiring this next generation of racers that, like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be soft. It doesn't make you any less worthy, any less talented, any less loved. In fact, the world embraces it. So I want to pause here again and show you actual footage from the end of the race. This is from a video on the F1 YouTube page titled Lando Norris's Crowning Moment. And I'm just going to show you a short clip from like 55 seconds to around 2:32. And then another short clip from 3:09 to 4:51. God, I love him so much. Okay, so in this video, we see Lando driving around the track, tears in his eyes. Again, everyone is running outside to greet him as he emerges from the car. The whole team, everyone's so psyched. And then you have Lando's mom. She's sweet and open and really unassuming. She's wearing this bright orange t-shirt from McLaren.
Her little pigtails.
And the two pigtails. She has
so
scrunchies on and these huge round like spectacles. And when Lando finally makes his way to her, she's like shaking and she grips his head. She has two hands on either side of his helmet. And she's kind of like touching her forehead to his, and they're both in tears. And, you know, maybe she's a mom watching her son win his first ever Formula One championship. But in that moment, it feels like she's a mom watching her son do his first ever lap in a go-kart. All around Lando, there's so much Formula One making me cry. There's so much noise and everyone's everyone's
just kidding. You look like a winner to me.
Yeah. I should say in that post-race interview.
Sorry,
Lando says, no. I wasn't going to say that, but Lando says, like, "Oh God, I feel like such a loser," because he's crying, and then the interviewer is like, "You look like a winner to me," and I was like, yes. All around Lando, there's so much noise. There's like awe and adrenaline, but all I see on his mom's face is a joy so full that it aches. You know, look at this child. Look at my child. Look how strong and soft he is. Look at how he lights up when, after all these years, he does this big, beautiful thing that he's always dreamed of. Everyone is proud, but in this moment, she might be the only person prouder than Lando himself. When it comes to achieving greatness, as amazing as it feels to have our own dreams come into fruition, seeing someone we love blossom right before our eyes might be even sweeter. You know, watching a niece face her stage fright and perform, watching a nephew score a goal, watching your child graduate, watching your partner cross the finish line. You're proud of what they accomplish, yes, but you're also just proud that they're proud. Isn't that a wonderful feeling? Before I end, I want to say I know I was not the only fan crying that day. So I asked two crybabies to share their thoughts with us. The first is from Nadene, and then we have some thoughts from Glenci. So let me just play those really quick for you.
I am so happy for him. I'm so glad he finally seems like he's gotten rid of his self-doubt, and oh my God, just so proud of him. You can't help but love him and his family, and to see his mom and dad and all the drivers coming up and congratulating him. It was so awesome. And when Zach was talking to him, and he was just sitting there crying, and he couldn't even get out of the car yet, and he wouldn't take off his helmet. I don't know, there's something really awesome about two men talking and crying together. It's kind of neat to think about all the people all over the world that have been watching this, and how we all get to experience this. And I know that I cried and you cried, and it would be so much different if I was sitting here by myself crying over this victory and this season, and if I didn't have this to share with you, it would be so different. So thank you for coming on this Formula One journey. I'm so excited for your episode because I know you guys are going to kill it, and you're going to do it so much justice, and I just love getting to geek out on Formula One with you. Okay, bye.
And this is Glenci's.
Hi, my name is Glenci. I'm a Crybaby and a beta tester for BRB Crying, which really just means that I'm friends with them. I found out Arns was into Formula One around Halloween this year when her entire family got out of their car when I was at their house, and they were all in Ferrari outfits. It was so cute. So Arns asked me to record a voice memo because I told her this morning, which is December 7, that Lando Norris won the Formula One Drivers' Championship. So he's the world champion of Formula One for 2025. And it made me emotional watching him win. And when he hugged his parents, it made me cry because I've been a fan since 2021 or 2022, and I watched Drive to Survive, and just seeing him go from like a rookie driver to kind of being the second driver at McLaren, and then like riding hard for McLaren. Like when Carlos Sainz left for Ferrari, he was like, he's gonna regret leaving McLaren, and he's like been out to prove a point since then. Like when they had Daniel Ricciardo join, he was like, why do they need him? Like, I'm already good enough. And today is kind of like him showing that, yeah, he was good enough, and he wanted to be the best, and now he's the best. And this was just like an accumulation of all of that. So just being a fan for that long and knowing how much work he's put in, like from the story that you see on Drive to Survive, and kind of seeing his highs and lows, and even him admitting himself that he has all these highs and lows, just made me really emotional because like no person's an island, right? So him like hugging his mom and hugging his parents and hugging his teammates, like the people who work at McLaren too, is just made me so happy for him.
So I want to know that these were both very condensed versions. They each sent me like 8 minutes.
And
I was like,
God, they want a mic for sure.
I know. I was like, because I was like, can you guys send me something? And they were both like, oh, I don't know. They both sent me something so long. And
I'm shy. I don't know what to say.
I know.
30 minutes later.
Oh my God. But yeah, like there were so many things about Lando's victory that made them cry. But it's so clear that, you know, the supporting each other, being in community together, crying together, just being proud of each other, like it's really special. And I feel like Glenci really captured it when she said no person's an island. So thank you, Formula One, for being this really weird, fun thing that I just became so obsessed with. And thank you to our two amazing crybabies, Nadene and Glenci, for sharing your thoughts and your feelings with us. And thank you, Lando, for inspiring us with your journey, your tears. If you're listening, this is my official petition to have you as our BRB crying mascot. Or you can be like our chief racing officer or something. Like, I think we need one of those, so you pick.
I I think that there are so many moments in that story that is so relatable for any sort of athlete or any sort of person who is pursuing a very tangible, singular goal. And I think while the context of all of these different lives may look very different, maybe you have a tennis racket in your hand versus, what are they called? They're not just called cars, are they? Does he just drive a car? What do you call it?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's
just
a car. Yeah.
And maybe you don't even have to be an athlete to relate to that glorious moment when everything that you have been working so hard for comes true. But I love the angle that you took, which is looking at it not just from your own satisfaction, but the satisfaction you experience as someone who cares on the outside. Like, that is such an act of selflessness to be like, I don't want this for me. I want this for you. And isn't that just like the purest form of love?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think it was the Lando log that you showed where it had like a little like home footage of him as a kid spinning in circles.
And doing donuts.
So I'm like so
Spinning in circles.
Doing donuts in his little baby go-kart, and then him doing the same thing after winning the race all those years later. Damn.
They told him not to. They were like, don't do donuts. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do donuts.
Yeah, because it really is honoring that child version of him.
Yeah. Yeah. And there were so many people who were like, this championship has felt different because with everyone else, it's been like, okay, on to the next. Like, I got to like get back into working hard. And with him, it was like, no, I'm going to soak this in. I'm going to celebrate. Like, this is what I've been, not just me, but like my family. Like, he talks so much about how like, it's not even for me. Like, I'm doing it for the people around me. And it's just like, it really is such a new era of drivers.
Yeah.
Because it used to be so like cutthroat and everyone like backstabbing each other. But like, so many of these guys are like, grew up together. They're all friends.
Oh, I see.
And so it's like, there's a lot of footage of them as children, and you really do see them like honoring that inner child.
Yeah, I love that. I love this acknowledgement that the glory of winning is not all just about the pomp and circumstance. It's so much more symbolic of all of the best parts about being on this earth, experiencing the fruit of all your hard work, feeling the love of all the people that supported you along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like with athletes or any sort of like very alpha male type of field, it's such a habit to not relish on all of these really beautiful feelings for the sake of not wanting to appear weak, but that's exactly what we're doing here. And I think that was such a good story to highlight on this pod, like how fitting that he's breaking the mold in his way, the way that we are trying to break it here in ours.
The interviewers love saying like, Lando Norris, he wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And yeah. Also, this was timed because Drive to Survive, the next season is coming out in 3 days, Friday, February 27. And the 2026 season is about to kick off in March. So
let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Go cars.
Go racing. Love you, Lando.
Love you, Lando.
Love you, Formula One.
Love you, Max.
Yeah. You know what? I love all the drivers.
You know?
You get to know them all. You get to love them all.
My birthday twin, Louis Ham.
Louis, he was one of the producers on the F1 movie. So you can thank him for bringing Formula One to the masses, which I feel like that movie really did.
I knew that movie screamed of Capricorn energy. I fucking knew it. So, yeah. Great job. Because I know that you wanted to talk about this for so long.
Oh my God, yeah.
I hope that it was everything that you wanted.
Yeah.
And thank you, Nadene. Thank you, Glenci.
Yeah,
oh my God, what
cute.
a cute way to incorporate our crybabies who are just as invested in this.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cry to survive.
Cry to survive. You heard it here first. Holy fuck.
Truly. Write that down.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Okay.
And be prepared to switch gears here.
Ooh, love it.
That's a car thing, right?
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Okay. Let's set the stage here.
Okay.
When you imagine the 90s, what comes to mind? No thinking, just three things.
I don't know, spiky hair. I don't know why. Like lots of gel. Mariah Carey.
Oh, yeah. Great one.
TLC.
Okay. Yeah.
Three things.
That's so funny. I put Beanie Babies.
Okay.
Yellow tinted mini sunglasses,
Okay.
which is very TLC coded.
Yes.
Spice Girls.
Yes. Spice Girls. Ooh, Spice Girls.
Okay.
Damn.
Yes. Now, the 90s was an elite time in human history. Maybe one of the pinnacles of pop culture. Because during that time, we had some, yes, incredible music, incredible fashion, but also some fucking insane films. Okay? Jurassic Park, The Matrix, Ghost. Shout out your episode on Ghost.
The fuck out.
This is also when Disney was releasing like actually original storylines like every 2 years
Yes.
instead of just remaking their old movies.
Into live action.
Yeah. For the cash grab. Yeah. Sorry, Disney, you caught that stray. Okay, but I have to say, in my humble yet correct opinion, as a child of the 90s, there is one film that stands miles above the rest as having the greatest cultural impact maybe ever. Hyperbole? I honestly do not think so. Because the movie I'm talking about today is none other than the 1997 film Titanic.
I knew it. I was trying, I went to my mind first and I was like, that's not where she is. I was like, Mulan? Then I was like, no. I'm in Nin's head. It's Titanic. It's Titanic. Holy fuck.
Titanic, directed by James Cameron and starring Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Budding stars.
Oh my God. We are going to get into it today. Okay?
Yes.
So yeah, you may have had to like go into my mind to be like, okay, what's the greatest film ever? And so you may think, oh, she's just being subjective and opinionated. But I'm going to be like, that's actually bullshit because Titanic was literally, for several decades, the highest grossing film of all time.
Wow.
Garnering over $3.2 billion since its release, and was only dethroned by the Avatar series, which, as we all know, was also written and directed by James Cameron. Titanic is a cornerstone of pop culture and was actually inducted into the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress in 2017 as culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant to human history.
Really?
Okay? For once, that is one thing that I shan't be arguing with our government about.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a very lifelong personal relationship to this movie. I'm pretty sure my mom took me to the theater twice as a 4-year-old to watch this film. I remember falling asleep in the theater, but then obviously over the next several years, I watched it over and over again. Do you have any personal memories?
Jomar talking about his mom bringing him, and he was like they covered his eyes up when the boobs were shown.
Okay.
That's what he remembers.
Okay.
Why can't I see? Why can't I see? Oh my God.
Okay. So there is such a thing as a stupid question, and that is, what is Titanic?
This is true.
The movie Titanic is a fictionalized romance based on the historical accounts surrounding the sinking of the RMS Titanic in 1912. So for my story today, yes, we will be covering the plot of the Titanic movie, but in line with all the other masterpieces we have covered on our pod, there's no way to capture everything. I have been watching this movie before my toddler brain could even start creating long-term memories. 29 years later, with each rewatch, I am still uncovering more and more of its genius. So I have to pick and choose today what I want to focus on. I will jump back and forth between the movie's plot and actual history. But as with all our episodes, the stories we share carry a deeper message beneath the surface. And today is no different.
She's punny today.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
The creativity in here.
Yeah.
You know? Okay.
Swimming around.
Oh, she got it too. Okay. Sources for today. The film, of course, as mentioned, written and directed by James Cameron and premiered in 1997. The book, Titanic, 9 Hours of Hell, The Survivor's Story by W.B. Bartlett. The book, Sinking of the Titanic and Great Sea Disasters by Logan Marshall. The book, The Rescue of the Third Class on the Titanic, A Revisionist History by David Gleicher. And lastly, the book, Titanic, A Night Remembered by Stephanie Barchewski. All right, babes. Titanic. Let's set sail.
My first song ever on the recorder.
Oh, was it?
Go on, please.
Whew, okay. So, first scene of this movie starts off in 1996 when a group of treasure hunters on board a submarine explore the wreckage of the sunken RMS Titanic in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. They are very clearly looking for something, which is later revealed to be an invaluable piece of jewelry that is believed to have gone down with the ship. A diamond necklace known as the Heart of the Ocean. They find a safe located in one of the first-class staterooms of the ship. They bring it up to the surface, fully expecting to have just made big fucking bank. Brock Lovett, the leader of the crew, gleefully sticks his bare fucking hand into this safe in search for the diamond,
God.
with zero regard for preserving actual artifacts from this historic wreckage. Gloves wear. You know what I mean?
Get your greasy little hands off.
Nasty, okay? Anyway, he gets his karma because guess what? No fucking diamond.
Oh, I thought like he drowns. I was like, whoa.
Do you not remember this movie?
No.
You don't?
I mean, not like that part.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Major ick when he realizes there's no necklace in there. He's like, turn the camera off. All right. Instead, what they find is a sketchbook. And inside the sketchbook is a drawing of a beautiful, naked woman wearing the necklace. And the drawing is dated April 14th, 1912, the night of Titanic's sinking. Who is this woman? Why is she wearing this necklace? Who is JD, the artist of the drawing? Back in the States, 101-year-old Rose Calvert sees a news report about this discovery. With zero difficulty, she finds a way to contact this crew in the middle of the ocean and reveals, surprise, the woman in the picture is me. Hopeful that she can help this crew locate this necklace, Brock brings Rose Calvert, her granddaughter, her 12-plus suitcases, and her fishbowl onto this research vessel. And here, Rose recounts her experience on board the RMS Titanic. Cue, it's been 84 years, and I can still smell the fresh paint. Okay?
Okay.
Ooh. All right. So now we jump back to April 10th, 1912, on the day of the RMS Titanic's maiden voyage from Southampton, England, setting sail for New York City. At the time, the Titanic was the largest ocean liner ever created, an engineer marvel that even before setting sail was deemed, quote, the unsinkable ship of dreams. Irony. At the dock, a breathtakingly beautiful 17-year-old Rose DeWitt Bukater, played by Queen of My Heart, Kate Winslet.
Kate, love you, girl.
Fucking Kate is ready to board the Titanic alongside her snooty mother and domineering fiancé, Cal. They are all first-class passengers, and they are oozing with wealth, okay? Mga millionario, like crazy. Sounds fucking great on paper, right? Me, I'm ready to fucking Instagram story every inch of my accommodations.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Hello.
Abundance, you know? Rose, though, hates her life. She
Makes sense.
fucking hates it so bad. She feels very trapped living this high society life devoid of any meaning or purpose. Like her whole life has been decided for her when all she wants is freedom to do and be whoever she wants. And then we cut to Jack Dawson, played by... You fucking know.
You fucking
already
know.
fucking know. Leo DC, baby. In his fucking prime.
Yeah, downhill all from there.
I mean, yeah, but like this shit, you have 3 hours and 15 minutes of Leo prime, you know? Okay. Jack is a well-traveled vagrant, poor, scrappy, and conveniently the most handsome person you've ever laid your eyes on. Jack wins third-class tickets for Titanic in a game of poker and finds himself on the ship 5 minutes later. He is the definition of go with the wind, live life to the fullest, and is the personification of all the freedom Rose desperately longs for. As the two get settled on the ship, we see two very different experiences. Rose, bathed in luxury, her cabin trimmed with literal gold, adorned with paintings by an artist named something Picasso.
Never heard of him.
A personal staff to answer her every beck and call. It's in this suite that Cal, Rose's fiancé, presents her with a little engagement gift, you know? Just kidding, it's not little at all. It is a necklace with a big as fuck blue diamond in the shape of a heart. The whole exchange is very much, I am rich, I can buy you anything and everything that you want, so you must obey me. Yeah, vibes are off. We don't like that. So Jack, on the other hand, heads down to E deck on the lower level of the ship. He's accompanied by his Italian bestie, Fabrizio, and they walk into their tiny cabin that they'll be sharing with two other Swedish migrants. The third class cabins are literally like 2 sets of bunk beds and then like a communal bathroom down the hall.
Nice.
Like fluorescent lighting. No gold.
That's weird.
Weird. Yeah. So after this first day at sea, we see more scenes of Rose mingling with the aristocratic elite on the ship, bored to death with the mindless chatter of the wealthy women who have nothing better to do but gossip and brag. Jack meets more third-class passengers, like Tommy Ryan, my Irish sweetheart, and other immigrant families looking to start anew in America. Then, on the second night, Jack and Rose meet each other for the first time at the back of the ship when Jack intervenes Rose's attempt to, trigger warning, jump off because of how trapped she feels. Jack talks her down in a gentle yet charming way, lamenting about how much he's not looking forward to saving her and jumping into the water because of how cold that water will be. Foreshadowing. But he wins her over. She gets back onto the deck, and the two are linked forevermore. There's some plot. Plot.
Blah, blah, blah.
3 hours of plot. And Jack finds himself invited to join Rose and the rest of the first-class passengers to dinner the next night. So much decorum and caviar and 12-course meals. And yet Jack, who comes from nothing, is able to charm the crowd by reminding them to make each day count. And after that speech, Rose is down bad. She's so fucking down bad, okay? After that dinner, Jack tells Rose to meet him at the clock so he could sneak her away to a real party. So let's watch this. This is at the 1 hour mark, and we'll watch about an 8-minute clip. Okay, so I just played those 2 sequences for Arns, and at this dinner table, you see how stifled the existence of this first-class passenger life is. Everyone is adorned with jewels and these fancy dresses, and every conversation is calculated and full of judgment. Then Jack takes Rose to the third-class dining saloon, and it is fucking lit, okay?
Yeah. Holy shit.
They got Irish bangers with the drums and the fiddle, and it is so full of life and dance and music. And Rose is in awe of it all. This is what her life had been missing, this vibrance, the freedom, the unadulterated joy. By the next day, there's no turning back for either of them. We get the iconic "Jack, I'm flying" sequence, this first kiss at the head of the ship during sunset. To the dismay of her fiancé and her mother, Rose is locked in with Jack, ready to throw away her entire life and start anew with him once they dock in New York. Pause here because I'm just slightly judging, because at this point she's only known him for like 48 hours. But like, get yours. You know?
When you know, you know.
You fucking know. All right, so we're happy and in love. And as a big fuck you to Cal, Rose turns to her homeless artist boyfriend and is like, "I would like you to draw me naked in my first class suite wearing my big ass diamond necklace." And there you have it. That is how we get the picture in the safe that Brock Lovett finds all those years later. So many things about this movie are fucking legendary, and this is one of them. Jack drawing Rose like one of his French girls. And yes, there is a salaciousness about her being naked. Jomar as a little kid, wanting so bad to see it all. But really, it's about her being fully seen for the first time by someone. This is the first time in Rose's life that she gets to exist as her own person, not as a possession. A little shenanigans after this, a little hanky-panky, you know, a little sneaking around from Cal and Cal's security guy. And as Jack and Rose are love drunk with giggles and smooches at the ship's deck, we are rudely awakened from this easy-peasy, happy-go-lucky love story and crash into catastrophe, because I'll be goddamned, the Titanic has hit an iceberg. Now, the ship was equipped with several watertight doors below deck, and at the time, state-of-the-art pumps that contributed to its moniker as this unsinkable ship. But, as we know, there were limits to this assumption. As it turns out, the ship was made of iron and could, in fact, sink. And that was if, and only if, more than 4 of its compartments filled with water. The iceberg damaged 6. Water immediately begins to flood the damaged compartments along the ship's starboard, the front right side. Sorry, I'm just trying to help out my fellow non-boat girlies.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, you're welcome. And very shortly afterwards, chief engineer aboard the ship, Mr. Thomas Andrews, declares with mathematical certainty that in roughly 2 hours' time since its hit around midnight, the Titanic will be at the bottom of the Atlantic. Now, if we were on the Royal Caribbean in 2026, a very high chance we could shake this off as a minor inconvenience. A mere travel delay, right? We'd all lock in our safety drills that we had practiced before even setting sail. I'd get that life vest on me, I'd go to my assigned zone, and I'd follow every word from the trained staff on board directing me onto my designated lifeboat. But of all the luxuries aboard the Titanic, this was not one of them. In 1912, the practice of safety drills and emergency response just was not the norm. Why need it when this was supposedly an unsinkable ship? On its maiden voyage, the Titanic carried 2,224 passengers, but only enough lifeboats to save 1,178.
Makes sense.
Merely half. Why this major discrepancy? Because they didn't want the deck to look too cluttered with all of the boats obstructing the view of the ocean. Oof.
Yeah.
But it's also just as frustrating to know that even if there were an adequate amount of boats on the deck, the crew just did not have the logistical training to even get everyone safely on board these boats and lowered into the sea in time. They just were not trained. It was fucked from the very beginning. And to add even more torment to this already dire situation, getting people to cooperate with this makeshift emergency response was a challenge in and of itself. Because this occurred late into the evening, most people were asleep in their cabins. And not wanting to cause a panic, even though a panic was fully warranted, staff were told to direct passengers to just put on a life vest and dress warmly. But of course, we also have to remember this in the context of the severe classism aboard this ship. First-class stewards provided hands-on assistance, doting over them hand and foot, gently waking them up, putting on their coats for them, reassuring them that everything was fine. Third-class stewards literally just barged into cabins, shouted, "Put on your life vests," and were off into the next room, not answering any questions or providing any sense of safety or urgency to the situation. There's a scene in the movie where someone barges into like a third-class cabin and it's like a dad and his daughter, and he like shouts like, "Put on life vests," so, like tosses it to the ground, and the dad's like half asleep. "What's he on about?" Like doesn't even know what's happening. Once news of the severity of the situation spreads and people start scrambling to figure out how to survive this, it becomes clear that the ability to board a lifeboat was fully dependent on your proximity to the deck. And as we all know, that meant first-class passengers had first dibs. A majority of the second and third-class passengers were located on the lower decks of the ship, which meant that theirs were the first to flood. So, as they tried to make their way up to the deck, they either got lost in the maze of corridors or, and this part really pisses me off, they'd be blocked by the gated stairwells. And this is something that I learned in my research for this story today, because every time I watched this movie, I thought that the gated stairwells were put in place because of this crisis. But actually, this segregation with putting up the gates wasn't just during the sinking. This gate was actually intended to be locked throughout the entire voyage because U.S. immigration laws mandated that foreign third-class passengers be segregated to control the immigration process upon arriving in New York. So they weren't even allowed to walk around the deck of the ship because they were forced to stay in the decks below. Go fuck yourself. And this whole issue with the gates serving as a block for the third-class passengers was portrayed in the film. Let's watch a few of these scenes. We're going to skip around a little bit, but the first scene I'm going to show Arns is at the 1 hour 53 minute mark, and then again at the 2 hour 8 mark. I guess I didn't realize that you weren't super familiar.
Well, I haven't watched it in so long.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh man.
Not in adulthood.
Oh, I know the shit like the back of my fucking hand, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. But like, how frustrating was that? Okay. So in these two scenes that I just showed Arns, we see a bunch of third-class passengers blocked by gates at the stairwell. The crew members guarding the gate are telling the crowd that it isn't time to go up to the boats yet and that they just need to remain calm. And in the crowd is a young Irish mother with her 2 little kids. Her son asks, "What are we doing, Mommy?" And she replies, "We're just waiting, dear. When they're finished putting the first-class people in the boats, they'll be starting with us, and we want to be all ready, won't we?" And then after a few minutes, we cut to Kate and Leo. Oh yeah, remember Kate and Leo?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's some plot going on with them, and they end up in a kerfuffle down in the lower decks, and they are trying to get back up. And they too find themselves in this predicament. I was going to describe this scene in detail, but instead, I will read this excerpt from real Irish survivor Margaret Murphy, who wrote in May of 1912. Before all the steerage passengers had even a chance of their lives, the Titanic sailors fastened the doors and companionways leading up from the third-class section. A crowd of men was trying to get up to a higher deck and were fighting the sailors, all striking and scuffling and swearing. Women and some children were there, praying and crying. Then the sailors fastened down the hatchways leading to the third-class section. They said they wanted to keep the air down there so the vessel could stay up longer. That meant all hope was gone for those still down there. And this is the exact scene that Rose and Jack run into. Tommy, Jack's friend, is among this group and shouts to the crewman, "For God's sake, man, there are women and children down here. Let us out so we can have a chance." And then Jack and his friends run along the corridors, and you see all of these third-class passenger families not knowing what to do. Some are crying. Others are simply trying to translate signs, the English signs around the hallways. And I actually read this during my research, but when they accounted for all of the survivors, you see that a lot of the third-class passengers, like of the ones that actually survived, most of them were Irish immigrants because of the fact that they could just speak English. So, but anyway, Jack and his friends basically find another gate. They grab a bench and they break down this barrier. Jack also leaves the bench in the middle of the opening, and I was like, can we move it so that we can freely walk through? But I got other things to worry about. Okay, so at this point, the ship is actively sinking. Once Rose and Jack reach the top deck, it is full-blown pandemonium. Women and children are being loaded into the boats and are forced to say goodbye to their male loved ones. It's heartbreaking. With all this happening, there's one scene that traumatized me as a child. It was like this one family. Do you remember this?
Just one scene.
As you know, the women were loading onto the boats. It was a family of a mother and two daughters, and they had to say goodbye to their dad, who had to stay on the ship. And the dad is like, "Goodbye for a little while. It's only for a little while." And everyone is crying. And I was like, this is my family.
No.
You know, it was scarring.
I can't believe you were watching this at 4. God.
So with all this happening, even though Rose has the opportunity to board a lifeboat and save herself, she decides against it. She can't leave Jack, not knowing what will happen to him. They're in it together till the very end. Everyone aboard the ship, like Rose, is having to make these difficult choices. What are they going to do in the face of this crisis, in this matter of life or death, with time quickly running out? Some passengers resort to anarchy, violence, anything they can do to secure a spot on the boat. Others simply accept their fate. So, of course, I have to play this next scene. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Really? God. For all my Titanic lovers, you know what I'm going to show her next. It is the famous montage of the band playing Near My God to Thee. And this occurs at the 2-hour, 29-minute mark. But since you asked earlier, I'll just provide some context for those that aren't as familiar. But during the sinking of Titanic, the captain had actually requested that the band on board the ship that were playing for the first class passengers play throughout the entire night to help calm people's worries. And this actually happened. So throughout all this chaos, you had the band playing very cheery, like upbeat music to set the vibe. But at this point, everyone knew what was about to happen. The band basically is like, all right, there's no fucking point. And they all decide to stop playing. And one of the band members lingers behind and starts playing this song, Near My God to Thee.
Now I remember why I don't watch this movie. I could throw up.
Yeah, that one is brutal. So see, James Cameron, the fuck?
James. God.
So, in this scene, at the height of the pandemonium, this band plays this somber tune as we watch the chaos on the ship. We cut to the captain of the ship and the main engineer on the ship deciding to go down under as heroes instead of saving themselves. We watch many running around in terror, others freezing in disbelief, and a few quietly accepting what's to come. The Irish mother we saw in the stairwell gives up her fight and chooses to spend her last hour tucking her children goodnight. An elderly couple hold each other in bed as water spills into their room. We watch as furniture is swept away by the water, dishes falling as the ship angles downward, and the ocean on board rising, rising, rising. At this point in me writing this story, I thought about just recapping the entire rest of the film, kind of going over how this story ends, because if you haven't watched this or you aren't as familiar with it, I don't know how else to strongly emphasize like how phenomenal this was in every way. From a movie making perspective, from a storytelling perspective, it's going to be remembered in history as our Library of Congress saw to it. But then I realized that's not really the part I want to spend the rest of my time on today. Because yes, we become attached to Jack and Rose as characters, but it's the rest of the people stuck on that ship who are just as deserving for our care and concern. I know that the sinking of the Titanic and the movie Titanic have long been hyperfixations for many people, myself included. We're drawn in by the luxury, the romance, the devastation, the morbidity. We find entertainment in the spectacle and feel gratitude that it wasn't us facing that cold and bleak night. But the reality is, we might very well still be on a sinking ship of our own. There are so many elements of this story that still ring true today. In our own country, a mere 100 years later, lower classes and immigrant families are still being denied protection, dignity, and a fair chance to survive, while the wealthy and elite live lives of privilege and luxury. I know that many of us feel the weight of this moment in history as we watch ICE raids tear through our community and our government exert their self-proclaimed power on those they deem lesser than. We feel the heaviness, the helplessness, the anger at the unfairness of it all. And in spite of all the darkness, I find myself proud as I watch us actually learn something for once from history, refusing to make the same mistake again. We are all just people, born into circumstances beyond our control, with dreams of our own. But even so, no matter who we are, what class we occupy, what country we're born into, all of us are deserving of a chance at an abundant life. And if the powers that be don't recognize this, then we band together and we make them remember. Let the story of the Titanic never be forgotten to the annals of time, not just for its tragedy, but for its lessons in humanity, equality, and community. Time and time again, history keeps floating this message back to the surface. And I'm choosing to listen because I refuse to let some dumb bit of ice bring this ship down.
I want to laugh because your puns were so good. And I also am holding back sobs. That was really beautiful. Thank you. I'm gonna need a moment. I don't really have words. I think of my distance from the Titanic, me not having watched it in a really long time. I didn't know where you were going with this. I don't remember what is so glaringly obvious now in this rewatch. What I remembered was the romance and, the whimsy.
Yeah.
But in the background of it all is the most important part, which it's the same exact thing. You're right. Nothing has changed.
We have changed.
Except us and how we choose to move forward. I'm really proud, like you said, because it's really easy to, I'm so sorry for this, sink into
Keep them coming.
You mean flowing? It's really easy to, for me at least, and I'm sure for you too, sink into the despair when you hear about everything that's been happening, people being murdered, even for protesting, right? It's really easy to be filled with despair, but at least now, we rally.
Yeah. It's it's so easy to fall into despair and only care about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to get through this?
Mm-hmm.
But there has been such a shift instead to how can we all help each other get through this? I obviously don't need to belabor this part, but just going back to that dance scene of it being so full of life and so valuable, maybe not even more so than the other first class passengers, because I want to make the point that it's not one is better than the other.
Mm-mm.
One is not more valuable than the other.
Mm-mm.
We are all the same.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a dream to win the championship of F1, or you can have a dream of wanting to bring your family into a new life. They are the same worth.
Yeah. I feel my heart, it's equal parts, grief and awe. I think it's the best way for me to. And I feel that watching it too, watching the band members play one last time. Grief and awe. The mom. The mom. Why the fuck did you show me that? The mom deciding to have that be her last action here on earth. What is the last thing that I love most on this earth that I can do right now with my time? Grief and awe. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah. A place that I find myself constantly going to is when something shakes our country and we don't know what to do, and we feel silly for thinking that a repost on our stories is going to do anything, or call your senators, all this stuff, donate, whatever. I know all the mental gymnastics of thinking this doesn't do shit, or this is so insignificant. What power do I have? And I've been trying to think of exactly that. What power do I have? And for us, we're storytellers, and I think that the messages that we share underneath the trendy topics and the glamorous romances and all these fun things, over and over again, they just come down to these universal truths that we already know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our role here. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah. I do want to highlight that, if you are unable to protest, there is no judgment. You can find your own way Even if it's just like supporting a business that donates a portion of their proceeds to local organizations, right? Like doing your due diligence in that way. Like everyone has a platform, everyone has agency. Like don't let that be lost on you if you can't do something. Like if you feel like maybe self-judgment around not being able to contribute in the same loud way that other people are contributing. Everyone has their part. Everyone has the ability to play a different role in this.
Yeah. There you have it.
There you have it. Listen, it says we're a comedy pod. Sometimes we dabble in, I don't know, human rights, social justice, equity. You know,
you can't put us in a box.
You cannot. And you know what? Let's highlight that. It is part of our identities. I mean, that's intersectionality, right? Like we are all of these things. We touch on all these things. It is woven into the fabrics of our being.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Thanks for giving us a listen.
Yep.
My God, if you do not remember Titanic, if you have not seen Titanic, this is to you, Arns.
I know. I'm going to watch it. I saw that you pulled it up on Netflix.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Please, for the love of God, watch that film. Be in awe of all of the... I mean, that is one angle.
Yeah.
Like, I could have done this story many different ways.
I think for the next 3 episodes, you should take a different angle. That's what I think you should do.
That would save me a lot of work.
We might lose listeners, though. they might drop off.
Might gain some, actually.
That's true.
The fuck?
That's true.
All right.
Well, thank you for listening. If you feel like this made you feel a little something, leave us a little review. Support us. Share us with your friends and family. We love being supported in that way.
Yeah. All right. We're going to head out.
Yep.
Our hearts will go on. What's a racing pun I can put in here?
And we will cry to survive. Yeah, I like that.
But until then,
BRB, crying.